It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Seahawks and the Saints, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin alongside, as always, my partner Charles Davis. And CD, in the few moments here before kickoff, let's give these folks at home a look at these two offenses by the numbers. What stands out to you?
Brandon, I just continue to be amazed by the analytics of the game, and it's an area where I continue to concentrate and study because I'm still trying to figure out how coaches and coordinators can really crunch the numbers and find where exactly on the field the defense is vulnerable. It's the game within the game. And if you really dive into it, it can be endlessly fascinating.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. Here comes Deontay Harris from his end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. So here are the Saints with a long field ahead. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick back in 2015 out of Florida State, Jameis Winston.
Throughout his career, few have doubted Jameis Winston's ability to throw the football. The concerns, they've always centered around his accuracy and taking care of it. When he makes good decisions on the field, excellent numbers usually result.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Jameis now on 1st down. He gets it to Thomas. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston, pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. This is roughing the passer.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Winston. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Jameis to throw it. Back to Kamara for another catch. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game, too. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Winston. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Oh, able to avoid him. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
3rd and short yardage. Winston. Touchdown, Saints. Jarvis Landry from 8 yards out. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. So here are the Seahawks now with a long field in front of them. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Off of play action, here's Smith. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing is Smith. Steps away to his left. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. From the gun, here's Smith. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. The gun, Smith. To the right side, incomplete to Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough. Sean Payton not liking that last call. He's going to go ahead and challenge it. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Jameis Winston and the Saints ready to go back again on offense. The returns on the last drive, pretty good. 7 for 7, touchdown pass. Probably take that, right?
I would say so. I mean, when you're cutting them apart that way, feeling so accurate, so confident going downfield, and then able to culminate by putting it in the end zone, oh, yeah, he's feeling real good right now.
Now he'll try to carry that over to this drive. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Off the play fake, Winston. Steps, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Uchenna Nwosu. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. Well, they sit him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now Winston. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Darrell Taylor providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A handoff to Penny. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
But if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Geno now to throw. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as he'll stop him with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Jameis again. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Now Geno on 1st down. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Smith on 1st down. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down. He's going to get this underneath to Dallas. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. To the air again, Smith. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. Dancing to his left. Smith with a foot. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So that a free 15 yards.
And it's always a tough one as a defender because a lot of the penalties that you commit, pass interference, holding, when they happen, you actually know what you're doing. But a face mask penalty, a lot of times it's inadvertent, but it still costs you the same amount of yardage.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Winston now from the 50. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Final play of the half here, Winston. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And it's knocked away and incomplete. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Seahawks in that first half. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. We get a look at the Saints defense as they file into position. Coming off a fumble recovery there on the last time they were out on the field, so we'll see what they do here.
And once that happens, everybody wants to get involved. All right, whoever created the last one, they're going to get the praise in the film session. You want that praise yourself, so you know everyone's going to be attacking the football.
Yeah, we'll see if they can attack it, get hungry, and get another turnover. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Geno. He'll find his man. That's Freddie Swain. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Smith. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Throwing now is Geno. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, Smith. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you're talking about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Let's go. After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So the challenge there unsuccessful, and that means that he'll be out of challenges from the remainder of this ballgame. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. To throw is Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Back to throw, Smith. They set up the screen to Petty. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Here's Smith. He's going to swing this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And this returnable for Harris. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Jameis to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. They just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Winston now. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. They've got his man complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the third quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Off the play fake, Winston. Throwing left side, it's complete. Touchdown! A great effort there. 35 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. To the touchdown, kick it off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. This one into the hands of Metcalf. 7 yards, the pickup there.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 24-yard line.
2nd down and 3. Geno now to throw. This is the tight end Fant.
Smith's pass complete to Norfolk. A gain of 5.
The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. And he finds Penny. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. Going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number. Throwing is Smith. And that's complete to Swain. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. They sit in a good spot, having the ball back after the fumble recovery and up 2 scores in the 4th quarter. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
From the 16, Winston. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
A 33-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the fourth quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Here's Smith. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Smith. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And the Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Smith now to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Smith. Flushed out right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker.
partner. It was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be third and forever. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Saints will have the football back. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Kamara. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 41 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Offense tried to get a little slick there and sneak the back out of the backfield and turn him into the primary deep receiver. But it was good coverage defensively, and they were able to break it up.
A 50-yard attempt.
And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Well, the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Smith. He hits his target, Lockett. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not...
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch, because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Gino. Returning right back to Lockett. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Smith. He's going to get this underneath to Dallas. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Second down at 6 now from the 42. One last throw here for Smith. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
So they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.